So I made a video a couple months ago on how to get dope looking anamorphic live streams, because that's what I've been doing lately, and a couple of my homies, we all been doing anamorphic streams too because they're dope and why not. And you know what? I got more comments in the video about my lighting setup at the studio than I did about the actual anamorphic live streaming setup. So in this video, that's what we're gonna talk about, how I light my studio, and maybe you can take some of these tips and light yours saucy like this. What's good, y'all? It's Tight Shirt Terry Wolf, and I'm back for another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Remember to be thankful for your freaking life today, because you did not have to have that. If you need a reminder of how blessed you are, just turn on the freaking news and see some of the stuff that's going on around the world. Neither here nor there, a few housekeeping items real quick. Number one, the video is sponsored by Zhiyun, so thank you, Zhiyun, for sponsoring this video. Number two, I am not proclaiming to be some professional lighting operator. I'm not freaking Brady Bissett. I'm not Cam Mackey. I'm not Kofi Yaboa or freaking any of these other super high level filmmaking guys. I'm just not. I just love camera gear and I have a whole bunch of lighting gear. And I wanted something that looked dope in my bedroom, which I did make a whole video on how I transformed this into this look right got here. I'll leave that linked at the end of this video. All I'm saying is I can't teach you how to accomplish perfect lighting setups in every scenario. I can only show you what I finally figured out how to do here, and there was a lot of trial and error involved. Now, before we get into it, let me show you first how my room is structured to kind of make it make sense on how we got to this lighting setup right here. Now, practically, this was the only way that I could make this work, so I had space for my desk, so I was able to film both ways, sitting towards the desk and away from the desk, and also having my bed in here and being able to watch TV at the same time. Now, because of that, my desk is on the other side of the room, on the right-hand side, and it used to be pushed up flush against the wall. The issue is I needed some space so that I could put my main light up, so I had to actually bring it back about 2 feet. I used to have my main key light, which is the Zhiyun B500 with the 90D softbox on here, so it's like a 30 some odd inch softbox, and it gives me this big, nicely diffused light source, and there's a grid on the front of it. As a rule of thumb, the bigger your light source is, so the bigger your modifier is and the closer it is to you, the softer the light and the more wraparound that you get, all right? Remember that. But I used to have this light on the same side as my camera, which will be all camera, all to my left, I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with that. It was a super clean look, you know, for YouTube videos it's fine, but it was very, very clean and sterile, and it had like no drama to it. And I really wanted some drama and some character to my look. So I found out something called Rembrandt lighting, right? And again, to achieve Rembrandt lighting, I had to back up my desk off the wall so that I could get the light source behind the desk so I can position it to wrap around me. So Rembrandt lighting, you only need one light. So we're using our main key light right here, about 45 degrees diagonally to my right. And then my camera is about 45 degrees diagonally to my left. And as you see right here, all of this side of my face is where my main light source is coming from. But over here, you see, the only real light I have is right in here, okay? And this is how you get like that dramatic effect that they use in movies and all that other stuff. It's one light and it's called Rembrandt. So again, you got your main light to the right-hand side and your camera is on the opposite side. Obviously, you can switch these. The other thing that I use is creating contrast with colors, and I actually learned this from freaking Cam Mackey, okay? So this light right here is around like 3000 Kelvin, right? So it's a little bit warmer. And remember I said I have a window over there. Well, I have another light, which I'm gonna show you in a second, which is actually my secret weapon, but I'm motivating that light over there to give us that light, back here. And because that is daylight over there, that light is also daylight temperature of 5600 Kelvin. So over here I have warm light, and over here I have cooler light, and the two together gives me color contrast, which also adds in depth and all that other stuff. So this, again, a one light setup. You could do this even if you don't have the other light over there. You only need a one light setup to achieve Rembrandt lighting. Now, although this video is not about this light, I do love it for a couple different reasons. The B500 is 500 watts, and the power unit, you know how typically there's this big power brick that you got to hang on a pole. Well, it's built in to the light unit itself. And you can control it with the app to control the temperature, the intensity, on and off, all that other good stuff. This thing is rock solid. So I got this out the way. And again, for Rembrandt light, you don't necessarily need more than one light. But if you want to create some color depth or some color contrast, then it's best to throw one more light into the mix. And I'm going to show you the one I'm using. Now, remember how I mentioned Cam Mackey's disgusting face earlier in this video? Well, my boy has a collaboration with Zhiyun, and this is called the X100 RGB. And this is way different than most of the little RGB lights that you see out there. First of all, it comes in this super nice case. It does have Cam Mackey's logo and everything on it, so that's fire. The light itself is 100 watts, so you can power it via battery, which it comes in there, it's rechargeable. You can power it via DC or USB-C power delivery. So you got a bunch of different ways to power it. So again, it's 100 watts. It only weighs 348 grams, and it comes with a ton of different attachments depending on the kit that you get. Now, obviously, it comes with a reflector. The reflector has some diffusion in it, and it has some magnetic points on it to mount the 4-leaf barn door metal assembly, which is so fire. So all you have to do is literally sit it on top of the reflector, and you got 4 barn doors that you can open and control the light spill. And the best part is when you're done with it, you just take it off. This is honestly one of my favorite things about this light. It also has the spotlight attachment, which is what I'm using right now. So I do have a window over there. I know I've said that to you like 1,000 times. Well, the spotlight attachment actually comes with 10 different gobos in there, and it has 4 levers which you can use to shape the projection, but I'm using the one that looks like a window. So all you do is drop it in there and you turn it on, and it projects the window onto the wall. So again, I'm motivating the light source that's coming from over there, and it might not look 100% like the window over there, but we don't care about that. We just want it to look believable and look dope, and that's what it does. Again, there's 9 other gobos in there, and there's a 40D softbox. So it's a small little softbox that when you collapse it, it actually just snaps onto the bottom of the case, and it is proprietary, so it only works on Zhiyun's lights. But if you just need some quick soft diffusion, bam, and it actually looks really good. Now you can get a ZY to Bowens mount adapter so that in case you don't want to use the 40D softbox, you can use any Bowens mount modifier. Now again, it can be powered without cords. Just using the battery grip, you'll get about 40 minutes of runtime at 100% power. Of course, if you're running at like 50% power, that doubles, so on and so forth. But you can plug it up to the AC adapter and run it as long as you want to, or any USB-C power delivery and get unlimited power at 100 watts as long as the charger can support that type of wattage. Now, of course, because it's RGB, you got all those colors, you got all of the lighting effects and everything that Zhiyun is known for. And of course, you can connect it to the app and control everything from the color to the temperature to the effects to the intensity, powering on and off everything through the app. Honestly, this is the most versatile light I've ever had. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you to get one of these. I'm telling you, every time they get these in stock, they sell out. So hit the link in the description. Try to grab yours before it's too late. So with that said, I know this is not some super elaborate setup. It's really not. It's actually really simple, and you don't need a lot to achieve the same thing or whatever setup that you have going on. You just need basically one key light. You put your camera on the freaking opposite side and grab your little X100 RGB to complete the whole look. Now again, I will leave links to everything we talked about in the description, and make sure y'all hit me up on Instagram and TikTok. I'll leave those. I've put them on the screen a couple times, but they are right there. If you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers, and I would love for you to join the family. And I think that's it. So till next time, I'm out of here. Tight shirt, Terry Warfield. Peace and chicken grease. Much love, y'all. Peace.